Regie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is a show that I do every single week on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And the intent of this show is to essentially give us a forum to talk about some news and current events, things that might be top of mind for you and certainly are top of mind for me because they are on my agenda. During this show, I give away a cool slab from our friends over at Go Collect, and I also, as the name implies, give you a preview of the content that is going to be released from the channel over the course of this week. As a reminder, I release videos Monday through Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. We also tend to release a podcast as well as a few blog posts and do a couple of live streams over the course of the week as well. But during this show, we do all of the stuff that I just mentioned, and we also have a really good time. And I am little by little recovering from a very lengthy live stream that we did the other day. We successfully reached 10,000 subscribers and have already surpassed that number. Last time I looked, I think we were up to like 10,030 subscribers. And we did a really long celebration the other day on, I think it was Thursday. We had about, I think it was the exact number was 178 concurrent viewers at one point during that live show. I think that was the largest live show that I've done, and it was certainly the longest live show that I've actually done. I think it was like an hour and 40 some odd minutes. It was definitely a long show, and I spent the healthy amount of that time since then trying to recover from that. I spent a little time in the dark rocking, trying to recover. But we are here, and this is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. And I want to thank you for taking time out to actually watch this show. If you are here live in the chat, I'm going to acknowledge some of you guys here in just a moment. But if you are watching this back on replay, I definitely want to encourage you to come on out. Come on out to one of these live shows that we do. I know that it is a little late on a Sunday for some people, especially on the East Coast and potentially in other countries as well. But if you can make it, I promise that you will have a good time. You definitely want to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of the content and notifications that get sent out by the channel. So I want to say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here. Chuck is in here. Randy Resnake, Ready Red is in here. My man Joe, how you doing? The OG Blue Wrench. Tina is in the house. Tina, it's good to see you. It is also good to see Connie and Jeffrey P. Welcome to you, my friend. My man Randy Resnake is in here. Rob Boswell, it's good to see you. Bryant is in here. Derek, scrolling through the names. Michael is in here. Catherine, how you doing? Catherine and family, it is good to see all of you guys because I'm assuming that you're also watching. Myth Lab Music is in the house. My man Zane, Doug, it is good to see you, brother. All right, with that, we are going to get moving into our agenda. There are a couple of things that I want to talk about, but I do want to do a little bit of some housekeeping things for you guys as well. During the 10K celebration, I made a series of announcements, and it was a long live stream, so I'm not sure if everyone is going to be able to see and hear all of the announcements. But one of the ones that I did want to bring forward to make sure that you all had awareness was around the creation of Discord. And so Discord is basically a community that has been set up that allows us to have basically a forum to come together to have conversations. And the Discord server for Regie Collects has been up and running for, I want to say, 2.5 weeks. The Patreon members have been doing a really fantastic job of helping pressure test and build this thing out. And now with the 10K goal out of the way, we have opened the Discord server up to everybody, and everyone is welcome to join and hang out with us. this. When you get to Discord and the link was just posted, you are going to find all kinds of stuff. There are all kinds of chat rooms where you can go and talk about different things, whether they be spoilers, changes and modifications to your room. Maybe you just picked up a really awesome book and you want to share it with somebody. You can't necessarily do it in the real world because you don't have any friends that do comics. You can come on over to Discord. There is a place for you to meet with some like-minded folks, some other comic book soldiers. So the link is there. I definitely want to encourage you guys to check it out. I think that there are just about, I think it was like 80 some odd of us in Discord, and it's a pretty happening place. I have to tell you, it is going a lot better than what I anticipated, which is good. That is a really good thing. I think people are enjoying it. So if you have some time, swing on by. You can actually install the app onto your phone and just do it from your phone, or you can do it from your desktop. The link that I posted up, I will tell you, the link for whatever with Discord expires relatively quickly. So I can post it up, but it'll expire. But if you know of another member, a Blue Wrench or a moderator or something like that, they can also share the links with you and you can actually come in, or I think you can actually search. And there's various places where on the community tab, you can actually find the link and hopefully it works. But we can't guarantee that. But I wanted to let you guys know about Discord because it has an impact on some other things. So I want to start talking a little bit about some news and some current events, because it has been a happening couple of days here. And I had a lot of comic book soldier reporters sending me messages and things like that about various news reports. And I was like, look, I'm trying to recover from this live stream. I can't cover anything. I needed some time to recover. But one of, I think, the really awesome pieces of news, and there's several, is the fact that we are going to get a Static Shock movie. And Michael B. Jordan, who played in the Black Panther, is going to be the producer of the Static Shock movie. And I think you guys, by this point, may have already heard this. The news broke about a day ago. If you follow me on Instagram, I put up a very cryptic post of several Static Shock #1s that I had in my collection, just because I didn't have the energy to go live. I was like, I'm gonna just put this right here. But Michael B. Jordan is producing a Static Shock movie adaptation. And the thing is that we probably should have seen this coming. In fact, some of us may have seen it coming, some of that blue ocean stuff. When you start to see a publisher making a lot of noise about something, you want to kind of pay attention. And I think that DC has made a lot of noise about Milestone in the last couple of months. Jim Lee has gone on the record making several statements about Milestone coming back and all of this kind of stuff. Reginald Hutland, who does the writing for several comics, several TV shows, but also is working on Philadelphia, he has also made some public statements as well. And now we know that Michael B. Jordan is actually going to be signing up to be the producer on this show. And this article from Newsarama gives us some details. And it says actor and producer Michael B. Jordan has announced that he's producing the movie adaptation of the DC comic book and animated series Static Shock. The news of the adaptation was first revealed by Milestone Media's Reginald Hutland during August DC Fandom. And now we know that Jordan is attached to producing through his Outlier Society banner. And I guess Outlier is his production house that he has set up for himself. So this article actually goes in to talk a little bit about who Static is, what Milestone is. And we actually covered a lot of this back in September when I did a Digging in My Shorts edition, and basically went through a bin full of nothing but Milestone comics. And one of the things that I will tell you is that potentially, if this thing is successful, it could open the door for other things. Michael B. Jordan here, I think this is from him. It says, "I'm proud to be part of building a new universe centered around Black heroes. Our community deserves that," he said in a statement. Outlier Society, which is his production house, I do believe, is committed to bringing to life diverse comic book content across all platforms. And we are excited to partner with Regie and Warner Brothers on this initial step. Now, there are some things that I find fascinating about this statement. He says a lot here. Who said anything about a new universe? I thought it was just a movie about Static Shock. What he is essentially pointing to here is that there could be a universe that is created, and one has to then say, well, what is in that universe? What's probably going to be in that universe are all of those other milestone comics and characters that appeared back in the 90s. That is what the universe will probably be comprised of. So we're talking about Icon and Rocket and Hardware and Blood Syndicate and all of those other characters, right? If this thing goes well and is successful, I think that it opens the door to a lot of possibilities, which I think is really fantastic. You heard repeatedly from Jim Lee previously, where he has said several times that he is and DC are committed to diversity. They are committed to doing some things that are a little more representative of the population that is out there. And again, this is them essentially putting their money where their mouth is, which I think is really fantastic that they're actually following through with some of this stuff. So let me go back to this this thing here. He says diverse comic book content again. This part here about all platforms, I think that that's kind of interesting as well, that he's saying all platforms, because to me that kind of opens the door, because he could be talking about live action, he could be talking about animation, he can be talking about video games and movies and comics. It's when you say all platforms, that sounds to me a little expansive, and it's going to be very interesting to see exactly where all of this stuff actually goes. So, there's actually a quote here, another comment here. It says, if the Jordan produced movie adaptation is a hit, it's said that it could spawn a multi-platform franchise. And again, I think a lot will come down to, is this thing well done? And if it's well done, then fingers crossed it should be successful. And if it is, it opens the door to a lot of possibilities. And there you go. Chuck's like, can Blood Syndicate be far behind? Man, I'm telling you. And what's the other guy? Zombie. I went back when I did that digging in my shorts of Milestone, and I started reading all of those books, the Hardware, the Icon, the Zombie, the Static Shock, Blood Syndicate. I started reading it all, and I remember like Zombie issue number 1, I was like, this is going to be really good, and then issue number 2, I was like, oh, this is not good. But like Static, I enjoyed. Hardware was pretty good, little dated in various parts, but pretty good. And then I enjoyed Icon. I think Icon was probably one of my favorite out of what I read, and just some really, really good stuff. Awesome characters. It's going to be very interesting to see how all of this stuff plays out. So, and there we go. Just lost my chat again. That is way too early to lose the chat. And I've been in touch with the service provider, and they're telling me that they cannot recreate the issue that I'm having. And I'm telling them, well, I have no problem creating the issue or recreating it, because it happens every time. So bear with me here as I kind of transition over to YouTube so I can actually see it and get a little back feedback there. So my apologies. Definitely want to encourage you guys, if you are here in the live stream, to go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. It's good for the algorithm. Let me pop over and see what you guys are talking about. Jeffrey's like, lost the chat drink. Man, it's like I've been going back and forth with these guys, and they're like, yeah, we can't recreate it. I'm like, well, trust me when I tell you there's a glitch, and it's not a cool glitch. So let me see over here. Yeah, Almighty Liger King is asking if it could be my computer. This is actually a brand new Mac computer. Just about everything that I use in this room is actually brand new. Cleared the cache, hardwired into the internet. I have a feeling that it's probably not the computer, but you never know. You never know. Let me see. When Marvel finally brings the new universe into the MCU, it's us 40-somethings that will be rich, says Doug Brad. You know, I what's fascinating is that I just got a new New Universe comic just the other day. Just fascinating. You guys are going to have to stay tuned for the video though, but some really cool stuff. So scrolling down through the comments here, Flame Brain Comics, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Sean, I see you, my man. Let me see what else. Chuck is saying, open the door for Blood Syndicate. Well done. Scrolling through, he says he never catches the live shows. Pumped to be here. Well, brother, Flame Brain Comics, I would throw you up on the screen if my my chat feature were actually working. I could throw up some old stuff from Wesley and Chuck and Tina. I could throw a lot of that stuff up there, but can't get to the new comments. So alas, you definitely have my apologies for that. So I'll have to bounce back and forth. Hopefully you guys will bear with me. One of the other things that I wanted to share with you is that Mikey Sutton actually reached out to me. Mikey Sutton reached out to me the other day with a little bit of some news about, let me see if I can get this on the screen the right way. Just make sure I get the right one. And what's my chances of doing that? Oh, there we go. I did it. So he reached out to me the other day about what we are seeing right now on screen. And specifically, this young man on the left-hand side, who plays the best friend of Peter Parker. And this is a little modification that Sony and Kevin Feige and others have done so as to not replay some things that have been done previously in other movies. But this is Ned Leeds, who is basically in the movies, the best friend of Peter Parker. And so this was exactly what Mikey Sutton reached out to me about. And he released on his website, Geekosity Mag, he released some news that potentially the Hobgoblin is actually already in the MCU. And it was this image right here that he focused on, this image right here of the actor that we just saw a few moments ago on the left-hand side of the screen. This is him on the left. And then most recently, this is him on the right. And you can see it is the same face, the same glasses, the same 2 gold chains. The major difference is we're seeing a deep V on the right-hand side. We're seeing a very deep V on the right-hand side, and he has lost a tremendous amount of weight. And so Mikey kind of talks about this. He says, a few days ago, I posted a photo of the actor Jacob shedding substantial weight. He says, I started to wonder if Marvel Studios would go there. And he highlights here that Jacob actually plays Ned Leeds in the comics. And he's wondering if they are going to make this transition to basically him being the Hobgoblin. And he goes on down here to say that he basically reached out to somebody. He says he reached out to a reliable source who has provided accurate information in the past. And I will tell you, Mikey has also provided a lot of accurate information in the present. He says, I was told that there have been talks to transforming Jacob into the Hobgoblin since the beginning. And the clues have actually been there in plain sight. In the comic books, Leeds wasn't Peter Parker's best friend. He wasn't. He was instead a reporter at the Daily Bugle who had a crush on the same girl that Peter had a crush on, that being Betty Brant, who was the secretary of J. Jonah Jameson. It was always a little weird. Like, she was, I guess, in high school, but left high school and became a secretary. It was a very interesting kind of thing. But he points out here that potentially the reason why he has lost all of this weight is because they are positioning him to play the Hobgoblin in some upcoming movies. And he says, according to this insider, Leeds will gradually change and not just physically. The build up to the Hobgoblin will be gradual. His destiny fulfilled once he and Parker are in college. So this will be after Spider-Man 3, and says that they'll be slightly older, and this slow transition will reflect how friendships can change in the transition from high school to college. And so it could be really interesting if they actually decide to go this route. And I will tell you, I think it's fascinating. I think it's a fascinating thing. Again, this comes from Mikey Sutton and his website, Geekosity Mag. So you can always check that out. Geekositymag.com is the URL. But it's going to be very interesting if they do indeed decide to go this route. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be the Sinister Six, and it very well could be the Sinister Six, because you could see the Sinister Six in the near term, and you might see the Hobgoblin a little bit later again, as there's this slow transition from being Peter's best friend or buddy to being one of his most dangerous enemies at some point in the future. So it could be very, very interesting how they choose to unfold this thing. So let me go back to the chat real quick and see what you guys are talking about. What issue did you find out leads as Hobgoblin? You know what? I was looking into that and did not capture it. But there were multiple Hobgoblins. I think there were at least like 2 Hobgoblins before Ned Leeds became Hobgoblin. But I believe that Ned Leeds first appeared in ASM 18. I think that's where he first appeared, was ASM 18. That book is probably the more valuable of the book versus the one where he actually became the Hobgoblin. Again, I want to say the Hobgoblin was maybe ASM 238, 237. Don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that. I could have just completely butchered that. Hopefully somebody in the chat will actually look it up and check it out. Mr. DC, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. What is this? Marvel Dead Decoded is saying, can we talk about how that Disney investor is pushing the Black Widow to come out via streaming? I actually don't know anything about that, to be honest with you. I have not looked into that at all, but I will tell you that investors are always trying to do something. Investors hate to see their stock prices go down, and they're like, well, we have this hot commodity and product over here, let's make magic happen. And you can see it all the time with what's that guy's name? Carl Icahn. Carl Icahn is one of those what is he? Can't remember the term. Like an advocacy investor. I can't remember the term, but he can stir the pot. He can stir the pot. I don't know if he's doing much these days. He may be a little older now and is no longer causing a ruckus, but I'm not completely surprised by any of that. Daniel, it is good to see you. Welcome. Sully Two Kings to the rescue. He says ASM 289 is where Ned Leeds was revealed to be Hobgoblin. Thank you, brother. First appearance, I do believe, was 18. 239, is that the one with the ripping shirt? No, it is not. That is not the one. Scrolling down through the comments here. Thank you, young Matthew. I definitely appreciate that. Again, I'm very, very helpful, or very thankful to have all of you helpful folks in here, because there's always a lot of stuff. Reggie, did you ship out ASM 110 yet? So let me see. Doesn't Wolverine kill Ned Leeds? There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So I wanted to make sure that I covered off on that, because the Ned Leeds thing, again, I think is pretty interesting if they actually do go in that pathway, partly because they're not following the comic books, per se, and which is kind of nice that they're actually taking some deviations. They're doing some things that are a little different. I definitely think that that's always a good thing. All right. Let me see. There's one other thing that I want to talk about before we get to some other items. So let me do this real quick. The last thing that I want to talk about is Doctor Strange. And I want to talk about Doctor Strange because the rumors that exist about this movie are just incredible. The sheer number of rumors and speculation that surrounds this movie is impressive. Like, if you guys pay attention, there's supposedly Edward Norton who played Hulk, is going to be Wolverine in the upcoming Doctor Strange movie. There is some rumors out there that Tom Cruise is going to be taking up the mantle of Iron Man as well. Like there's all of these rumors out there because this movie deals with, multi-universes. There are all of these theories out there that they're going to have all of these different alternative realities. And therefore, there are all these characters that are just going to be crammed into this movie. And so there's a lot of speculation, a lot of excitement around this movie. And I think it's still scheduled for like 2022. So I think we have a long time to go as we continue to hear about these rumors. But one thing that I will remind you of is when I was doing one of the blog posts for Go Collect a couple of weeks ago, there was a blogger who actually wrote a blog post that I thought was really insightful. And this gentleman actually worked on Batman, Superman, or Superman, Batman. I can never remember which one it is, but he worked on the actual movie. And he witnessed firsthand how the director of that movie literally provided false information to the market in order to throw people off the trail as to what was actually happening in that movie. He called into radio stations and gave fake reports. They actually shot crazy alternative scenes with the actors on set that were never used and were never going to be used. All of this stuff was done in an attempt to misdirect people as to what the actual story was going to be. So I say this to basically say, take all of this stuff with a grain of salt. Take it all with a grain of salt because we really don't know what's going to happen. But with all of that said, there is another character, not an actor just yet, but another character that is expected to appear in the Doctor Strange movie, and that is America Chavez. They are basically saying that she is going to appear in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And they actually do highlight here that there is an actress that they are looking at. I don't even know who the actress is, but she's 14 years old. But she is of Mexican descent. So is America Chavez. And so that is part of what they are thinking is actually going to happen. And so it'll be very interesting to see, but this article is actually not a bad article because it's connecting all of these dots of they're doing this, so it must be meaning this. And then if this happens, then all of these other things can happen. And so if you read this article on Newsarama, I mean, we could be seeing the Young Avengers, the son of Scarlet Witch and Vision. We could see all kinds of characters and all kinds of dots actually being connected everywhere. It's actually a really beautiful story if you pay attention to it, the way that they're linking everything up. And the truth of the matter is that it could all be wrong, or any percentage of it could be right, because the truth is no one actually knows what's going to happen with any of this stuff, which is what I find fascinating. But that's also the fun of it. Super chat just came in and my chat just came back. So maybe that is the secret. Man, DB. There we go, brother. He says, in memory of my wife of 27 years, thanks for the message this week. So, I made mention of this during one of my recent live streams, how there are a lot of people that are dealing with a lot, right? That life is tough as it is. And then we also have Voldemort, which makes it extra tough. And, every time I make these mentions, they are for a reason. They are for a reason. And it's because people tell me a lot of things behind the scenes that it's not my place to talk about it in public, but I want to send a public message to these folks and others that people are thinking about them. And DB actually lost his wife. And so I was sitting in this chair and read his email. And it was a tough email to read. It was a very tough email to actually read because you feel for him, and because you think about if that were you, it's very tough. But brother, thank you for the super chat. My thoughts are with you. If you need something, like I told you in the video message that I sent back to you, if you need something, you'll let me know. All right, you'll let me know. So. Sometimes we have to make some very tough tough turns. We have to make some very tough turns. But that's what we do. That's what we do. We kind of go in and out with stuff, and we roll with the punches. So scrolling down through the comments again, scrolling down. Hi, Jeffrey. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. There we go. And that's what it's about right there. You are, brother. People will be thinking about you, my good man. They really will be thinking about you. And we've had several losses. We've had several losses over the last little bit here. You know, I think we all can use a little extra thought for ourselves, to be honest with you. So shout out to you, brother, and everybody else that is making wonderful comments over here. So what is this? Hey, Reggie, have you seen the INS? I don't know what that is, which were just announced related to the King in Black? I have not. It's been a pretty, you know, we've been kind of relaxing over this last little bit here, so I haven't been paying too much attention to a lot of the news. So I don't know if you guys did see the Ben Affleck, what was it? Ben Affleck, and what was the other guy? They did a really funny bit the other day that I just thought was incredibly, the guy that was in Jason Bourne Identity. Really awesome bit. If you guys have not seen that, it is fantastic. And they actually bring up Rob Pattinson. So check that out if you guys get a chance. All right. So I want to give you guys an update on some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. And then we're going to get to the giveaway of this really awesome book right here. I think my light is actually a little bit better. I turned the light intensity down, so I'm not washed out here when I actually go live. So I think this is a little bit better. I don't know if you guys can read that, but I think that you can actually see the book a little bit better. But this is Strange Tales 158, first appearance of the Living Tribunal. We're going to give that book away in just a few moments, and then I'm also going to give you guys a preview of the book that will be given away this coming week to one lucky subscriber who just takes some time to watch the videos that come out from my channel over the course of the week. So let me give you a rundown of everything that is going to be coming out from the channel. There was a couple of videos. So I think people enjoyed the obscure comics video that I did a couple of weeks ago. So we actually did a version 2. I can probably do a couple of dozen of these, to be honest with you. But we have an obscure books video that is going to be dropping this week. I have just finished earlier today editing what I think is a good video. And it is a video that actually provides you with some practical tips and things to consider if you are trying to safely execute a comic book trade. And if you think about it, I released a couple of videos saying, hey, I've been doing some trades, and I've been releasing those videos because I've been doing the trades behind the scenes in some cases for a little while, in an attempt to get myself more comfortable with actually doing a video in which I could say, here's how you do a trade, right? So a lot of people are like, hey, I want to know more details. And I'm like, just slow down and wait for it. So this week, a video is going to be coming out that is going to be talking about how to execute a trade. And what I can tell you is that it's pretty tough to do a video to have everything be in there, but I will offer you 10 things, 10 tips. And I'm pretty sure that there will be others that will offer up some additional commentary in the comment section. So when you see that video, check it out. And then also be sure to read the comments, because I think there will be some additional helpful tips there as well from your peers. I'll be releasing a video this week that actually looks at the survey that we did a couple of weeks ago. I finally got around to recording a video on that. So that video will be dropping, where we're actually going to look at the total number of respondents and also what the data were for the survey that we did. And I'm not going to tell you how many people participated. You'll have to stay tuned for the video. And I'm going to be very interested to hear what people's thoughts are around the findings. And I can tell you that the survey findings video was set up by a couple of other videos that we've been talking about speculation and whether people are, you know, they feel like there's too much speculation out there, and who are speculators, right? It is all a setup for this video that's going to be coming out soon. And then I'm also going to release a video this week where I dig through my shorts. and I'm looking for some TV show speculation. So 4, I think, pretty solid videos that are going to be coming out this week at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Thursday. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to check those out. Doug's like, survey. It's some cool stuff, man. The survey says, well done. Oh man, you know what, Joe? I started to break out Utopia, bro, because I saw your comment in I saw your comment in Discord, and I started to watch Utopia. And you know what I opted to do? I opted to actually install CBS All Access. I think that's what it's called. They had a 7-day trial or something like that. And I wanted to see that new Star Trek show, Discovery. And I'm on episode 2, and I will tell you, I think it's fantastic. I've been a long-term Star Trek fan, and I had not watched this show because you had to buy it. And I was just like, you should just put it on regular TV or a regular streaming service. I don't want to buy another streaming service. But we canceled Hulu. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this 7-day thing, and maybe I can watch an entire season. Lo and behold, there's 3 seasons. So I probably won't be able to get all the way through it. But at some point, I will watch Utopia because I've heard a couple of people talk about it. Shout out to my man, Sean, right here. Thank you, brother, for those kind words to DB. Man, I'm telling you, I think again, man, we've all been through some things or are going through some things. So I think that the kind words help. I really do think that they help remind people that that they are not going through some of this stuff alone, even though they might be alone, if you guys know what I mean by that. But thank you very much. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. So we are also going to be releasing a blog post this week on Monday at 10 a.m. My man Doug has written a fantastic blog post. I think it's really smart. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think it is a really, really smart blog post. Doug does some fantastic stuff that I think is thought-provoking. And so that will be coming out Monday at 10 a.m. I encourage you to head over to regiecollects.com and check out the blog post. There's really awesome bloggers that are doing some really awesome content that is up there. And then I'm also going to be releasing a podcast at 7 a.m. And part of the reason why I mentioned Discord to you guys earlier today is because the podcast is no longer going to be available on all of the podcasting platforms that it has been in the past. One of the changes that I announced during the 10,000 subscriber show is that I'm actually moving the podcast to Patreon. So all Patreon members have access to the podcast. That podcast will be released on Monday at 7 a.m. as usual. You will have access to that, but I also created a special tier for those people that want the podcast. You can actually sign up for $1.99 and get access to the podcast. Part of the reason why I'm doing this is not necessarily to make money. I'll be honest with you. But I needed to move it so as to not lose money, because to have the pod being platform that I had, it actually cost me money, and the podcast itself didn't make any money. And so I was essentially losing money. So by porting it over, I can still make it available to people that were already supporting the channel as part of their support, and then still make it available for a couple of bucks to other people that have an interest. So hopefully that actually makes sense to people. All right. And then again, if folks want to reach out and have a conversation about it and the rationale, I am always available to you to have those conversations. All right. With that, I'm going to continue on, and we're going to give away a book after I check the chat here real quick. What? Banana Republic, haven't seen season 2 of The Boys. Is it worth watching? Yes, you should leave the broadcast right now and go watch it. That's how good season 2 actually is. I'll kid you not. I mean, I don't want you to leave the broadcast, but I do want you to watch The Boys because it really is fantastic. It really is. Discovery season 1 is on CBS every Thursday. Is it? But they're already on season 3. So my guess is that they're releasing it later, right? They were probably releasing it on the regular network years after. So what I saw today, I think that they're already on season 3. What is this? In my opinion, I see more of the female role for the MCU coming out more sooner than some of these other characters people are speculating on. You could be right about that. Scrolling through, except that they actually did. I want to say, didn't they announce that Miles Morales, they hired an actor or something like that for Miles Morales? So I'm not certain. I'm not certain. I should have known better than that, than to click on that. I'm going to be all up on the pickups part of Discord. Yeah, for Bayou Boys. So if you guys don't know, over on Discord, we have Lee Atkins, the admin over there for me, has set up a pickup section on Discord where you can actually have some conversations about books that you want to sell or you want to trade. There is a process for that. So make sure when you head over to do the rules for Discord and you get to that section of pickups, read the details and description that are in there, because there's definitely some guidance that, speaking of him, there he is. There's definitely some guidance that Lee has posted up in there. And if you guys have any questions, make sure you reach out to Lee, Matt Woods, Master Blaster, and Climbing Comics. Those yahoos are the moderators over there, and or in the case of Lee, the administrator. They can help you guys with a lot of questions that you may have. So shout out to all those guys for making my life a little bit easier, allowing me to offer more, but not necessarily commit a bunch of more of my time. They've actually thankfully volunteered to kind of help out with the channel. So I appreciate each and every one of those individuals. Same with the blue wrenches that are over here on the YouTube machine. The boys is freaking awesome. Yes, it is. Do you want a Fresca? Would you like a Fresca? That is the question. Would you like a Fresca? All right, so let's go ahead and give away a cool book. All right, so let me show you guys the list. This is the list of names of all of those individuals that were able to successfully find the video and the phrase for this week, which was 3 faces. 3 faces was the phrase for this week, but these are all of the names of individuals that were able to find it and get it posted to MailChimp. And I posted this list up, I want to say like 7:09. I was like on fire this morning. I was up super early, got it posted, and was moving on to other family activities relatively quickly. But these are all of the names of people. And this list is actually a little smaller than last week's list. But let me go ahead and share my screen one more time. We're going to roll some dice. We're going to then randomize that list that we just looked at and give away a really cool book to someone. So we just rolled 9. So we're going to go ahead and randomize that. And I want to encourage you guys to stay tuned, because I'm going to make a couple of other minor announcements to you guys. So bear with me after we give away this book. So we're going to randomize this thing a total of 9 times, and we're going to give it away. So that is 1 right there. And there are 318 people on this list. That is 2. That is 3. That's 4. 5 right there. Here is 6, 7, 8. And the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway is T-Bone. T-Bone, you, sir, are the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway. I see Quest Dog in there. Tracy is Best is in there. So there you go. That is the top 10 right there. Congrats to T-Bone 976. You, sir, or madam, have 1 week to send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com with your screen name, your government name, your mailing address. I will bundle up your stuff, specifically this fantastic book, along with the exclusive variant for Go Collect, and I will bundle this stuff up and send it off to your home just as soon as you send me your information. So there you go. T-Bone is this week's Go Collect giveaway winner right there. All right. So we're going to bundle that thing up and hopefully get that out of here. Couple of things I will tell you and that I'm going to show you this upcoming weeks. We gave away almost 20 prizes as part of the 10,000 subscriber giveaway live show. We almost gave away 20 prizes. Every single box has been packaged up and mailed out. And I can tell you, young Matthew has already received his. That's how quick I got that stuff turned around, and or how fast the United States Postal Service is. But Matthew, young Matthew, who lives not too far from me, already has his gift for winning trivia and or participating in the live show. My hope is that everyone else will receive their prizes at some point before Wednesday of next week. Everything has been mailed out, but you guys know it takes a little time to work its way across country. So that was one big thing. The other thing is last week's book has also been given away. So just be aware of that. I think that book was claimed relatively quickly, so that book is out of here. All right, so let me scroll back down. I think, did I lose my chat again? I did. Lost it again. Hopefully it'll come back. Let me scroll down. Somebody was asking me if I read The Boys. That was the last comment, and I have not read it. I have not read it, but I have watched both seasons, and both seasons are fantastic. High Voltage Marcus Matthew was quick with that answer. Here's the thing. Anything with Spider-Man, that dude's gonna be on it. He's gonna be on it because he is he's a Spider-Man fan, man. He is no joke with it. He also has a young mind. He has a young mind. So there you go. That's the other part of it. All right. So let me show you guys the book that is going to be given away for this upcoming week. It's a little different, and I want to say that this is probably the second of such book that we've given away. It is a Walking Dead book. It is Walking Dead issue number 3. It is a 9.4 with white pages, and this is the first appearance of a lot of people. Let's just put it that. It's the first appearance of a lot of people, but this is this week's Go Collect giveaway book. Thought I would celebrate a little bit of, some Walking Dead stuff because they just came out with the Walking Dead Deluxe and the gold foil, and we talked about that. We kind of broke that news, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? Maybe a little bit more than that. I wanted to kind of celebrate that by getting a Walking Dead book. So that is going to be coming up this week. Somebody is going to actually walk away with this book like next week. And if you are watching this and you don't know how to do it, basically all you do is watch the videos that come out from the channel sometime between Monday and Friday. And in one of those videos, I give you a phrase. You then go over to the community tab, you find the post, and that post actually goes up at 8:30 tonight. There will be a link in that post. You click it, you go to MailChimp, and what you'll see in the top is it'll say like Go Collect Giveaway. It'll say Walking Dead number 3. You're like in the right place. And then all you have to do is plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 of them are personal to you, and then 1 of them is a phrase that I would have given you in the video. You plug that in, then you tune into the Ready, Set, Go preview show next Sunday night to find out if you are a winner. And as a reminder, you don't have to be here to win. You just have to watch the live show within 1 week of the show to find out if you are the winner to be able to claim your prize, like my man T-Bone. So T-Bone has 1 week from today to claim his prize, and then next week it'll be someone else's turn to walk away with Walking Dead issue number 3. Really cool book, I do believe. So I'm gonna go back to the chat here real quick. And Jason, how you doing? Says joining late. How's the next 10,000? I put it up on screen, but I can't. Jason, the next 10,000 is well on its way, sir. Last time I checked, I think we were 30 over 10,000. So we are headed in the positive direction. We're headed in a good direction. And I honestly need to give thought. I need to give thought to what my next BHAG goal will actually be for next year, for whatever time period, right? Because it may be a 6-month goal, could be a year goal. I'm not quite sure. So I need to give thought to what my next BHAG goal actually is, because, 10,000 is a fantastic number and it's nothing to poo-poo. But I want to continue growing things, because I think I have something to say, and I think that what we have here is good, and I want more people to be able to enjoy it. So I will remind you guys that it's not necessary to repeat the same thing over and over again. I see it, and if I didn't talk about it, we're probably not going to get to it. So I just want to throw that out there for people. You don't have to keep repeating things. Oh, say, wait a minute. Let me. So DB75. he has said something that I think should be repeated. And I wish that I can throw it on screen. And it's BB. It is beat Bueller. That right there is the mantra. Beat Bueller at all costs. That is our objective. That is our ultimate BHAG goal, is to beat comics with Bueller at everything. It doesn't even matter what it is. I just want to be first. Brandon says 20K is around the corner. Man, I hope so, brother. I hope so. What is this? I appreciate taking time to celebrate the win and ponder what exactly should be the next goal. There you go, brother. I was thinking about that. Maybe a younger version of me would have not necessarily stopped and paused to appreciate it and to enjoy it for what it is. But this version of me does. This version of me is like, wait, let's slow down here, and to acknowledge just how cool it is, right? You always want more. You want to do better. You want to be the best and all that kind of stuff. But it's also there's nothing wrong with stopping and just appreciating what has been accomplished before you start to go up the next hill, and this weekend, man, was a lot of that. I called my mother up when I did it, and I said, I thought I'd call you, Mom, and allow you the opportunity to congratulate me, and she was like, for what? She was like, for what? And I was like, was it not on your local news that I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube? She did not. It wasn't on the news. It wasn't on the news. Milt is asking how many. I don't know. I think he has like 14,000 or something like that. When I spoke to him the other day, I think that he was feeling like he was going to get to about 15,000 or so relatively quickly in the next little bit. And what's funny is that Bueller was probably the first person to congratulate me on getting to 10,000. I woke up at like 6 a.m. like I do pretty much every morning. And there was a message in my inbox on Instagram, and it was from Bueller. And he said something like, I woke up in the middle of the night and saw that you had, reached 10,000 subs. Just want to say congratulations. And that's one of those things that I talk about it a lot. There are some really awesome people out there, and a lot of us talk behind the scenes. But yeah, Bueller is a good guy. I do want to crush him. I want to crush his soul. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So all right, let me scroll down through these comments. Have I ever done a show with Bueller? Y2L. Yeah, Bueller and I have done I want to say maybe 2 shows. I've been on his show once, and then he and I were both on Comic Tom's show once, and I've done 1 show. I went from have never spoken to Tom to talking to him, and then being on his for the first time, and then being on his show like 2 hours after that. That was like, because Bueller gave the introduction, and we were literally doing a live stream like a couple of hours after the very first time that I spoke to him on the phone. And that was probably a year ago or so that I did that live stream with Comic Tom. But I don't do a whole lot of collaborations. I think that now, part of it for me, there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons for it. And I'm not going to go into all those reasons because we do that fairly often. But I think that I am going to start potentially doing some more collaborations, a little bit more than what I've done in the past. Let's put it that way. I can't exactly tell you how many, but we may do a couple more. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, Young Matthew, he says he's a good guy, but I don't want to crush his soul. That is true. That's a direct quote. You can cut and paste that one, send him over to him, and he'll know exactly what's up. What is this? Well, you got to remember that Bueller is a moving target. He isn't going to sit there and let Regie pass him. That's why you have to kneecap him. You have to kneecap him. Slow him down a little bit, right? That's what we're going to do. We're going to kneecap him, and then I'm going to just sprint right past him. The almighty Liger King. We just witnessed Reggie's dark side. Milt says, must admit, I like watching comics and coffee with Bueller. Man, I'll be honest with you. So do I, bro. So do I. But Bueller is a good guy. He really is a good guy. He beat me. He beat me to the integration of coffee and comics, and I purposefully stay away from that because that's his thing. Even though I could do it, he wouldn't care. It's kind of like that's his territory. Comics and coffee, I back away from that. Even though I read comics and I drink coffee like nobody's business. But Bueller's a good guy, and we have a good friendship. Yeah, so there you go. Lee says, okay, everyone go and sub you. We got to take him down. What is that? Tanya Harding? We need a Tanya Harding or whoever. Yeah, I think it was Tanya Harding that hit her in the knee. I'm going to take this guy down. Ray is like, I watch it every morning. You don't have to put that in caps, bro. You don't have to put that in caps, okay? No. All right, I am going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you guys, man, for continuing to hang out with me. I enjoyed this live stream. As a reminder, we have some good videos that are going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. We're going to look at some more obscure comics from my collection. We're going to release a video in which I give you some practical tips on how you can actually safely trade comics to other members of the comic book community. I'm going to be digging in my shorts for a TV show spec. And then we're also going to reveal the results of the survey that we did several weeks ago. So those are all of the activities. And again, if you guys, if you have not yet joined Discord, I want to invite all of you over to the Discord. I may just pop in there for a couple of minutes to have a little bit of an after party, but I'm going to post it up here real quick. If you guys haven't yet joined Discord, I definitely want to invite all of you over there to hang out for just a little bit, and let's see whether that goes through. Again, I'm a little hobbled here. There it is. It did go through. So if you guys can swing by, I definitely want to encourage you. We will potentially continue the conversation over there. But if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects, or you can send me an email to Regie@RegieCollects.com. If you need me, I am not too hard to find. Take care.